last meal looked kind of important, I put it on top of pepper for you.
Okay, thank you, baby. Mail? For me? Wait. What did I do? It's rigid.
That's what she said.
All right, let's see what this is. What? Oh, yeah! Could it be? I've only been waiting months. Yes! It's official. Dun dun dun! I'm official, I'm official. I am officially allowed to drive this car. Oh yeah, RDC, red car, pepper, light bulb. Wait, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, right, that ain't happening. Guess you're going there. Boom. Time to go for a drive. Heaven. Heaven. Let's just go for a spin. This is what it's all about right here. It had taken months for me to get this title. I had to get the car inspected, and a lot of the stuff that required to pass was not going to pass. I had no rear view mirror, I had no functioning windshield wipers. This car was not ready to go, but now it is. I got my license, I got my insurance, I got my registration. Now let's have a little fun. Woo! Oh yeah. So since I've owned this car, and it's been a while, I've put on less than 500 miles in the 6 months that I've owned this car. And I gotta make up for that, don't I? But first, I'm gonna pull over and adjust my camera. There, that won't go anywhere. My car is now in operational temperature. So now I'm ready to see what this girl can do. Woo! Just like that, 60. And I was just shifting out of second gear. Hi, and welcome to Yogi's Garage. I'm Yogi, and we're back with Project Pepper, my 2002 Porsche 911 Carrera Cabriolet with over 101,000 miles on the odometer. If this is your first time joining, welcome. You're in for a treat. For my loyal subscribers, it's time. We've reached the critical point in this project where it's time to drop the engine. But if you saw in the intro, I just literally got the license plate and registration for this car that I applied for months ago. Like everything else during the pandemic, it's taken a really long time, and that it is what it is. So I wanted to get this car on the road and really enjoy all the work that I put in it so far. It may not look like it, but I've done a lot of work on this car. And when I get to a certain point, I'll cover how much I put into the car. But right now, let's just say it's a lot. So I've got everything working electronically on this car. The convertible top is working. That's kind of an electronic and mechanical. The interior may not look it, but everything in it is working except for the door. The door won't open, but I think the actuator is busted on the passenger side. So I got to figure out how to open the door without opening the door. For those of you who have been following along on this project, I've already refreshed the entire suspension on this car. But after you do a suspension refresh, you obviously have to do a wheel alignment. I don't have a wheel alignment set up here, and I'm not about to do a DIY wheel alignment video. I'm just gonna take it to a professional because I'm pretending to be one on TV. And the place that I chose is run by a guy named Sam Craven. The shop is named the Garagisti, and they're a relatively new shop here in Houston, Texas. They specialize in European automobiles, and I'm really looking forward to taking you on a tour of Sam's shop, and we get to see some of the cool cars while we're there. After I'm done with that, then of course, I'm backing this car up like I did just now, and we're gonna start the engine removal process, but I gotta take the car out for a few spins around the block. So I've been spending a lot of time getting my garage ready to go, cleaning up all the tools and waste from fixing Olaf, my 2007 Audi one last time, and working on the wagon, that 1995 E320 Mercedes-Benz wagon. Looks like that car is gonna need a cylinder head gasket, and that's gonna take a lot of work. So that's gonna be going over here on this side. Sorry, Yogi Mama, I need the space. So besides getting the garage ready, I've gotta get my tools ready. I've gotta get a plan together to make this process as seamless as possible. I don't think dropping the engine on a Porsche 911 is gonna be that big of a deal. I've reviewed the process over and over again. I have the workshop manuals, so I'm really excited to get that started. But that's in an upcoming video within the next few weeks. But for now, let's go take a look at all those cool cars at the Garagisti while they do a wheel alignment on Pepper.
You say hi? You say hi? Hi. You're a good dog, yeah. You're a good dog. Probably smell my dogs. Why did you get into this?
I sold my real estate investment company 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah, two years ago. And once I did that, I was trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. And did some consulting with a few different businesses. And then at the same time, the engine blew up my wife's BMW 650. So I used that as an opportunity because I was kind of weighing, like, you know, do I start a shop or whatever? You know, can you build a viable business with something like this? And at that time, when the engine blew up my wife's car, I went and I shopped all the different shops around in Houston. I think there's 17 different shops I went to, including the BMW dealer. And no one was able to deliver a complete package. Like, take care of the customer really well, explain in detail what's necessary, and at the same time, fix the car exceptionally well. So I think there's a lot of places in town that can fix the car, but you kind of have to deal with small shop, you know, processes to get that done. So that's where it was born from. And then found the space and built it out. And most importantly, found the people, and here we are.
So your guys' skill set is just across the board, right? It's
anything European.
Anything European.
Our skill set's European. Like the Japanese car here and the Japanese car there are both my personal vehicles. That's the only reason why they're here. So our expertise is everything from, you know, a regular stock Audi A3 to the Lamborghini Murcielago.
Yeah, Murci's
an
beautiful.
Awesome car. That thing's a 6-speed too. Yeah.
Oh, take a look at that.
The Lamborghini Murcielago is the predecessor to the Diablo, and this car was produced from 2001 to 2006 and is powered by a Lamborghini V12 engine mated to a 6-speed gated shifter. Murcielago is an all-wheel drive mid-engine car and could do 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds with a top speed of 207 miles per hour. When this car was new, it sold for around $281,000 US. This 944 produced 147 horsepower out of its 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. This front engine rear-wheel drive configuration could propel this car to 0 to 60 in just 5.9 seconds.
These are making a comeback right here.
New intercoolers on. and we're having custom built pipes that go from here to the IPD plenum.
So you do custom work as well as repairs and
Yeah, we do.
maintenance.
I would call it basic performance work.
Basic
Okay,
performance.
probably the biggest performance job that we have going right here is this 997 turbo. It's got 20 or like 30,000 miles on it. Super low mile. We've got the engine parts over there.
Really, this is a nice carbon fiber, or is that a wrap?
No, it's carbon. So this car was originally purchased brand new and then immediately shipped to Champion Motorsports. For
Okay.
their big turbo kit. So the guy bought the car and then wrote a $150,000 check to get 68 millimeter turbos and built transmission and just like the whole, just threw the freaking book at this thing.
See, I just need 1 million subscribers, man, and then I'll be able to do all that. For sure. This looks a lot like my car.
So this is an IMS failure car.
Is it really?
So this customer knew about the IMS issue, and his IMS was leaking enough actually that we recommended it because we just put all new suspension on this car.
Okay,
So,
Goldstein. Yep.
Yeah, we lowered the car, did all this kind of stuff, and it came back to us on a flatbed. But what we're doing is we're punching it out from a 3.6 to 3.8 liter, and the rod bolts are loose, so it never built up enough oil pressure to save itself.
Yeah,
$30,000 mini.
had this thing catch on fire? Did it have a fuel leak somewhere in the front?
No, it was, these cars have really low catalytic converters. Like you see all this yellow here?
Yeah.
So that's from the heat.
Holy moly.
And it burned all of this when it did it, and it yellowed everything. So the whole car has been repainted now. But what happened on these cars, the catalytic converter is super low.
Okay.
And he went out in March, he caught it on fire. In February, we had the freeze. So everything was dead
Yeah.
on the racetrack, and it was super tall grass. They had to cut it. So he drove out there. He had a mistake, drove off track, and was waiting to get back on track, and it caught the grass on fire underneath him.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the odds, man?
And this is a super rare car in the sense that it's a manual transmission car, there's no navigation, and it's a slick top, there's no sunroof.
This Lexus LX470 is one of Sam's personal vehicles that he uses quite a bit.
I take a camping trip to Colorado. And so this car has been our home away from home. Wow. I'm currently a little homeless right now.
You're the other one out there?
No, I'm...
What's the story with the Wow.
diagnosed with a cooling system issue.
Ooh, it smells good in here. It smells like a museum.
Yeah.
I had to do a second look at this 991 Turbo S. I am just in love with this car, with the red interior, drool. I'll never be able to own one of these. Now I'm sad. I bet you don't see a two-door G-Wagon every day, do you?
Okay, so it was already done for him. G320.
This car is for sale. Super immaculate. 87.
It's an 87. So if I had to guess, oh, it's a Carrera. I saw an 80s Carrera go for 107,000 on Bring a Trailer recently.
Yeah,
but it was a
depends.
different
This
color.
one's got high mileage, but it's been totally rebuilt very recently. So the mileage doesn't really reflect the kind of experience you get when you drive this car, because literally everything's been gone through. So he's asking 95 for this one.
You'll probably get it too.
Yeah.
Selling it.
Yeah, he's gonna sell it early next year. But this car is a museum piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love the patina.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. 2,700. So this is a garage queen, huh? Oh, it's over too.
Well, it's sat for a long time.
Oh, that's never good.
But we just went through it, got it running, and got it running good.
Ooh.
This car's actually should be picked up today.
Smells fantastic too.
Yep.
That's insane. I gotta get that picture right there. 2,600 miles.
This thing's a hot rod. It's carbureted engine in it.
I like that. Ah, yeah. The color's gorgeous.
Yeah. Sounds like it's got an LS in it, but it's just a big cam 3-liter. 1 year Audi S4 Avant. So I think it was 95 is the only year they had it.
This is a B6.
Yep. S6, sorry.
Yeah, well, it's a B6 bodied, right?
Yeah.
Generation?
I said S4, it's an S6.
It's an S6. You can tell. I mean, it's a little bit of misalignment here, but it's really good shape. God, I love these wagons, man. They're so classy. This one.
2004 BMW 325 sport wagon that has been totally converted to an M3. So all the bodywork is metal, been repainted interlagos blue. It's got an M3 engine, transmission, suspension, differentials, everything M3. Down to the sound deadening in the tunnels, down to the M3 ABS system, DSC module. There's nothing on this car that's not M3. This car was in Road and Track magazine last year.
As a retro M3, like a retrofit M3. Like everything in it is, I mean, the original car was not an M3, right?
325.
It was a 325.
Yep, sport wagon. And this is in some way responsible for this too, because I kind of went through a quarter life crisis, and I told my wife I just needed to build something, and I built this in my driveway before I had the shop.
Did you really?
Yeah, this was a labor of love, but this car will be for sale, most likely by the end of the year.
How do you give up something like this that you put your blood, sweat, and tears in?
It ran its course for me.
Did you?
Like it's such a stunningly beautiful car to drive. I wanted to buy something, to build something to like as a new daily driver. And when I built it, I put 10,000 miles on it, and it took me a year from start to finish. But then what I needed to get out of it was just find my passion again for working on cars, and that's really what it did. And so when I built it, I didn't really care about cost or anything. So like we really went into super gross detail of every little thing to make sure that it fits for M3. You know, there's 40 hours of fab time just to get the bumper to fit right, and then change the rear floor in the back with the M3 rear floor, so the stock M3 exhaust just bolts right up. Good shape, and I just went through and rebuilt the brakes, suspension, steering, and differential and transmission. I rebuilt the transmission, and frankly, it's patiently waiting for me to just get it over to a body shop and get it looking the way that it should, and then have these wheels custom made for them. So these are original SSR centers, and then I had them custom barreled to fit this car, the stock body of this car.
Wow.
So,
is that to keep it from flaring out too far?
Yeah, because I wanted it to fit the stock body. I didn't want to put the flares on that everyone did.
Yeah. To get wider tires on them.
Yeah. But I'm also just kind of enjoying it and driving it just the way it is, because when I hand it over to the body shop, they're probably going to have it for a year to get it looking the way that it needs to.
Now, this model did not have power steering, right?
This model does not have power steering, but this car does.
You put power steering in it.
I put electric power steering in it.
Smart to see that F12. I mean, I saw it, but it didn't register, you know? You would think the color would. God dang, look at that front lip. Don't hit anything. Oh my goodness, carbon fiber wheels, centers.
I don't even want to comment over this part. I'm going to let the video speak for itself. Enjoy.
But the fronts are. Interesting.
Yes. Tires or wheels?
Tires.
Oh.
So tires on the wheels.
Tires on the wheels. Okay.
Yeah.
What they're telling me
yeah?
here is that the front tires are directional, and I have them on backwards. That cost me a little bit of extra money so that they could resettle the
Yeah, it's
suspension
possible.
and do their job.
So all we gotta do is about side to side.
As I suspected, after refreshing all the suspension, my alignment was completely out of whack. But after they were done, this is what it looks like. Not only is it a huge difference on paper, but it's also a huge difference when I'm driving it. It doesn't pull at all, and it's pretty straight. That red caster is something that can't be adjusted, and basically it's the rubber bushing on the middle of the coffin control arm.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool tour, huh? Yeah, Sam's got it going on over there. If you're in the local area, if you're near Houston, you should go by and check him out. He does a really good job. I was out on a wheel alignment out of there in like an hour. I stuck around a little bit longer because I loved all the cars and his stories about some of the cars that he owns personally. So be sure to check them out. They're up here on 290 near Hempstead Highway. So as you can see here, I've got a new tool. It's basically an ATV motorcycle lift, but if you take a look at these points here and here, you'll see that they're perfectly aligned to the underside of the engine, specifically around the sump. So if the sump on the 911 M96 engine is flat, this will work perfectly. In conjunction with a transmission lift, I'm gonna be able to get the whole drivetrain out of this car and start tearing it apart and nothing flat. But that's for a future video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you liked what you saw, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw, hit the thumbs down. Although nobody else is gonna know you did that, I will. And be sure to tell me why you did too, if you wouldn't mind. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I can truly be moody. I could have played the bridge in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp, make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.